Hello everyone and welcome to Wine With Me. I'm your host, Emerick, and this is part 2 of our 5-episode series on the wines of Burgundy. Today we will be looking at the same producer we looked at the first video. This is Jean-Claude Poisson, but this is Pouilly-Fuisse. So a more specific area within Burgundy, more specifically within the Côte Mâconnaise. The vintage is the same, 2015, so same characteristics, warm summer with a little bit of a rain right before harvest, to cool off the grapes to preserve acidity, and a long hot summer to bring out ripeness of the fruit. In order to keep things fair and objective, I will be utilizing the Court of Masters Sommelier's tasting grid, which you can also follow along by clicking the link in the description. If you wish to suggest a wine for the next video, feel free to leave your comment in the comment section. And you can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter, links on the description as well. So let's jump right into it. Okay, just right off the bat, this is quite different from the wine that we saw last week. This also 100% Chardonnay, but you can see that there's something different about this wine, right? Color is a little bit darker, deeper concentration, I would say medium plus gold straw with hints of green. The wine is clear. There is no evidence of gas or sediment, and tearing is medium plus. On the nose, the wine is clean, but there is a oxidative quality to it, as in like oxidative apple. So imagine you cut open an apple, have a little piece of it now, put the other piece in the fridge, and then you come back for it a few hours later, and it's going to be bruised and a little bit browned and oxidated. So that's what I'm getting here. Intensity, once again, medium plus, and even though it is 2015. It's not fresh, but it's not old either. It's just in that developing stage. The fruit condition is ripe and also bruised because of that oxidative quality. Fruit will include yellow apples, pear, pineapple, yellow peaches. Again, the apple is a little bit bruised, the pineapple, the pear, a little bit oxidized. There's a nutty characteristic to it, like an almond paste, like a sesame, like a tahini paste type of thing. Kind of doughy too. There is a yeasty, doughy characteristic, like if you ever rolled a pizza dough, if you smell that pizza dough, kind of smells like that. Non-fruits, there are some white flowers here, but very faint, very slight, just giving a little bit of more complexity to the wine. Earth-wise, there's some element of seashells, a little bit of chalk and limestone, a little bit of that brittle inorganic earth going on, just a little bit of a salinity, if you will. But the wine is mainly dominated by the fruit, the ripe fruit, and the oxidative quality. There's no indication of new oak being used in this wine, but because of this oxidative quality, I imagine this wine was aged or fermented in used oak barrels that did not impart any flavors, but created this oxidative quality. I'll confirm that on the palate. Very interesting. The wine is dry. I would even call it bone dry. But the ripeness of the fruit is persistent. Again, with such a warm vintage in 2015, you get fruit that is ripe and rich and developed, forming this wine with a beautiful body, somewhat of a full body, no residual sugar, so bone dry, but with a beautiful, mellow palate to it, with a round, ripe flavor on the palate. Again, the body, yes, I would say it's a full body wine with a little bit of a heft, a little bit of a higher alcohol content. The fruit still reflects the same as it did on the nose, perhaps a little fresher, but still the ripeness of the fruit is evident. Yellow apple, pineapple, pear, yellow peaches, maybe a little bit of mango. There's a little bit of tropical characteristic here as well. Very ripe. Everything is beautifully balanced. Non-fruit, still a little bit of that faint floral characteristic, perhaps a little bit of a jasmine, honeysuckle, but taking the back seat, not dominating the palate. The characteristics of the fruit, as I mentioned, ripe. Their oxidative quality is still there. The earth, that inorganic earth, brittle soil, seashells, rocks, chalk, limestone, a little bit of a salinity, still happening, still going on here. Oak, I would highly suspect that this wine has seen used barrels, possibly aged somewhat, about 6 to 9 months on used barrels, just to create this oxidative quality, but not impart any flavors, and let the fruit really shine. Somewhat of a very slight phenolic bitterness, just again to give complexity to the wine, but really well managed. Alcohol level, I would say medium plus. With the acidity, let me revisit that acidity. With a beautiful acidity. Acidity is what drives the finish on this wine. So yes, I would say high acidity. Again, ripe fruit with high acidity. That means long summer days, sunshine, but also something with that preserved the acidity, such as long diurnal shifts. So hot days, cold nights, right? Maybe a little bit of a cool breeze here and there, rain, something to just maintain that acidity there. And it did. It's a beautifully made wine. Finish, it is quite long. I would say medium plus. Actually, I would say long finish. Like it lingers there for a little bit. Body, there is or texture. Like I said, body is full. Texture, there is a creamy characteristic to it. It's round. It's complex. How many things we named, right? With flowers and fruit and earth and non-fruit, right? Such as the nutty characteristic. So yeah, it is a complex wine. Again, pairing wise, I would suggest some fattier fish. Okay, so just like last week, like a fish stew, something that has a little bit more body to it. Chicken, some hearty chicken dishes. This wine, because of high acidity, because it's a full body wine, it would pair really well with a number of dishes. So have fun. Thank you very much for joining us and watching it again. And I will see you next week. Cheers.